Okay, so a baby will die every 21.4 seconds from abortion in the United States, which is 1/3 of all infant deaths and over 1.5 million babies vanquished each year. And according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, after 9 weeks, unborn babies can feel pain, yet 48% of all abortions are done after this point. So I would like to further support the claim that the U.S. should adopt a constitutional amendment to prevent abortion, because abortion is immoral and it's physically dangerous. And I have 3 views on why abortion is immoral, and I have a philosophical view, a religious view, and a feminist view. A lot of philosophical issues surround abortion because Roe v. Wade separated personhood from humanity, and judges argued that a developing fetus was a human but not a person, and only persons are given 14th Amendment protection under the Constitution. So the court argued that abortion could be legal at certain times, which leaves to people to decide when personhood should be awarded to human beings. And Paul Ramsey, an ethicist, has warned that any argument for abortion could logically be used for infanticide as well. For example, Dr. Francis Crick of DNA fame suggested in the British journal Nature that if a child were considered to be legally born when 2 days old, it could be examined to see whether it was an acceptable member of human society, which is an argument for both abortion and infanticide. And in his book, Humanhood, Dr. Joseph Fletcher argues that humans without some minimum of intelligence or mental capacity are not persons, no matter how many of these organs are active, no matter how spontaneous their living processes are. And in other writings, he suggests that an individual was not truly a person unless he has an IQ of at least 40. So if we could provide arguments like this to make abortion legal, or to make it okay, then it could possibly lead to other forms of killing to be okay, such as euthanasia and the elimination of those who do not have certain IQ. There's also a lot of religious views surrounding abortion. Mostly Christians and Catholics strongly oppose abortion, and they use the Bible to support their claim that it is immoral. And the Bible doesn't speak of abortion directly, but this is because abortion wasn't even thinkable to Israelite women. Children were viewed as gifts from God, and the scriptures state that God opens and closes the womb and is sovereign over conception, and not being able to bear children was seen as a curse. In Luke chapter 1, 36, verse 41, chapter 1, verse 36 and 41, Elizabeth conceived a son, and the babe leaped in her womb. God does not say that a fetus leaped in her womb. He says that the babe leaped, which is the same word that he used to describe Christ in the manger after he was born. So in God's eyes, an unborn baby and a newborn baby are the same. And the Bible refers to pregnant women 26 times as being with child as opposed to being with fetus. So therefore they view abortion as being murder. And abortion is also the shedding of innocent blood. In Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 25, it says that cursed be he that taketh reward to slay an innocent person, and all people shall say amen. So an unborn baby is innocent blood, so they're killing something that God gave to them. And feminists also the early feminists also strongly opposed abortion because of their belief in the worth of all humans. The 19th century feminists opposed abortion, fully aware of the damage done to women through constant childbearing, despite knowing that half of all children born died before the age of 5, and knowing that women had virtually no rights within the family and political sphere. They also understood that women who resorted to abortion because they were abandoned or pressured by boyfriends, husbands, and parents, and lacked financial resources to have a baby on their own, but they still believed that abortion was not the answer. Early American feminists strongly opposed abortion. Susan B. Anthony, who is a strong American figure, proclaimed in the Revolution that abortion is child murder, infanticide, and foeticide. Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who organized the first women's rights in Seneca Falls, New York, classified abortion as a form of infanticide as well. And she said that when you consider that women have been treated as property, it is degrading to women that we should treat our children to be disposed of as we see fit. And also, Ashley said that abortion is healthy for women because they could possibly die. Well, not exactly healthy, but it's unhealthy to make it illegal. But abortion can also be very physically dangerous to women because the reported immediate complication rate is no less than 10%, and pelvic inflammatory disease is reported in up to 30% of all cases. And placenta previa is 7 to 15 times more common among women who have had abortions than those who have not. Also, other complications caused by abortions include ectopic pregnancies, subsequent infertility, miscarriages, future premature births, and small for dates babies. An abortion can also result in a perforated uterus, which requires an emergency hysterectomy. So for many women having abortions, like for their first pregnancy, this could be also their last pregnancy. Abortion can also lead to an increased risk of breast cancer. According to Dr. Joel Bryant, a professor of endocrinology and a breast cancer researcher, every study of induced abortions performed before the first live birth is consistent with an initial increase in risk of at least 50%. And in Brazil, more breast cancer patients reported having an abortion than did not. In Finland, the rate of breast cancer increased with the number of abortions. In Italy, the risk of a woman with one or more legal abortions before a first live birth was increased by 42%. Among Chinese women who developed breast cancer before the age of 40, abortion before the first full-term pregnancy led to an increased risk of 140%. And the Soviets have one of the world's highest abortion rates, and the incidence of breast cancer among Soviet, Georgian, Estonian, and Russian women tripled between 1960 and 1987. So abortion should be prevented because people who get them are killing an innocent person, they're possibly causing dangers to their health in the process, and they're possibly ruining their chances of ever giving live birth, and they're going against God's will.